Hey there, guys. Making another battle report here. This time we're playing fantasy up against Keifer here. Hopefully my chat monkey, who is not actually manning, he's manning the cameras instead of the chat this time. But anyway, Warhammer Fantasy. So for those of you who don't know how to play fantasy, this is kind of an introduction because I'm going to be teaching him how to play. We've already made up our armies. We're playing High Elves against Dark Elves. It's 1,500-ish points. And yeah, this is basically it. So first thing, we've made up our armies. We haven't rolled off for who's going first. So before we do that, we roll off to see what spells we get. So Keifer has taken High Magic because why not? So basically, you want to grab your sheet there and put it right in the middle of the board here. We're using Army Builder. There's actually, you can look in the codex, you've got them in there, as well as if you pick up the cards. So you're level 4, so you roll 4 dice, and just roll them all. And you get the spells that each of these go with. So you got Apotheosis, Hand of Glory, which is the best spell, and Tempest. Because you rolled a double, you can swap that out for any of the other spells that you want. And you can also take any of your spells and swap them for the basic spell, which is either Drain Magic or Soul Quench, which is interesting because you have two Primaris, or what are they called? Signatures in fantasy. I would definitely recommend keeping Hand of Glory because it's amazing. This is almost useless. You're better off taking either Soul Quench or Magic Drain, probably Soul Quench. And in a large game, I would always say take Fiery Convocation. We're not playing a particularly large game, so it's not that big a deal. Walk Between Worlds is certainly good. It gets you to move your unit again.
Was that the one where everyone in the unit takes
Strength 4 hits?
Yeah, we'll take that.
Alright, there we go. So that's simple enough. So I don't have a pen handy. Grab this just to mark off which ones you've got.
That works. I was just gonna leave the dice.
Awesome. Anyway.
Oh, I got that.
Alright, yeah. We've got a bunch of War Machine models, so we've got tons of stuff to make marks. I'm a level 2 Life Mage, so I get not what I wanted. I'm going to draw off Awakening Wood for the signature spell and keep Shield of Thorns. Bummer. Anyway, and that's that. So after that, we then roll off to see. We would roll scenario and roll deployment, but we're just going to deploy 12 and 12 each and just kill each other. So there we go. So you have the choice now. The way fantasy works for deploying is you deploy one unit, then your opponent deploys one, then you deploy one. Whoever gets all their units out first gets +1 to their roll. Not all the scenarios, but for this one, we're going to be doing it this way. So you've got 5 units and champions. So 6 things you have to deploy. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So if you deploy one first, you'll get +1. If I deploy one first.
+1 to what, though?
After we fully deploy, we roll again to see who gets first turn.
Okay.
If you had your guys out first, you get +1 to get first turn. If not, no.
Okay, so you roll first for deployment and then for
first turn. Yeah.
Okay.
So this was not to see who got to go first. This was to see who got to start deploying first.
Well, I guess I'd go.
Probably better to deploy. You know what? I'm going to take first turn regardless, so I can show you how it works. So I'll deploy my guy first, just for the sake of simplicity. So characters and War Machines are last, or characters are anyway. Technically, he's not in the unit. Don't worry about it. A lot of people just leave him in. So I deploy my Spearman. So you deploy a unit now, 12 inches in.
So what I want?
Probably your Spearman.
Yeah,
Spearman or your Swords Masters. Either way, whoever it is that you want to be in your center to hold your army together, basically.
Swords Masters.
Yeah. Now, and all units have to be at least 1 inch apart unless they're in close combat. Just for deployment purposes, so you have an idea of where guys can go.
What do you mean?
Like, for example, I can't have my 2 units like this.
Yeah.
They have to be at least 1 inch apart.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I thought you meant they had to be at all times within 1 inch of each other.
No. At least 1 inch away from each other.
That's stupid.
Now, also, your wizard is your general. So everyone within 12 inches of your general uses his leadership.
Okay.
Instead of their own, which I believe is 9 for him, so it's a little bit better than everybody nearby. And on top of that, your noble there is your battle standard bearer. So while he's within 12 inches, anyone who fails a leadership or a morale check can re-roll it. Which is why BSBs are such a big deal. So I'm going to put my crossbowmen right here. So then you deploy a unit. Normally you shouldn't have your units all in your deployment, but whatever. Same as War Machine in that regard.
So how do you know what you want to basically trade off? Because I know, like, oh my god, son of a gun.
I don't think they're even glued on there.
No, they're not.
But
that's the issue.
Yeah.
No, because like it's like I know in War Machine deployment you want to.
We don't
like,
really have in this game. We don't have a big counter deploy to each other because we're basically running the same army. Often, what you'll see is, for example, if you watch any of the battle reports I have on Mini Wargaming, often there's one unit in the middle that's like super killy, like my 1500 point Dark Elf unit. And then around it are just a few archers and a few guys who can either jump in the way or clear out stuff that jumps in the way. And I'll try and show you that before the end of the game. I'll have your guys do it to me. I'm going to put my archers down here. There you go. Now your Reavers, I do believe, have Vanguard. So basically it's like Scout in Fantasy, or 40k rather.
Move before.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. And they're also fast cavalry, so they can turn as much as they want when they move. And they can move and still shoot.
Why? Is it one turn per movement, or
normally what it would cost? Because you've seen in the rulebook where like this is 1 inch, 2 inch. Fast cavalry can just turn on the spot as many times as they want while they're moving. So like you can move, turn, turn.
It doesn't give them penalty.
And it doesn't penalty them either.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna put my knights down. Yeah, you still got lots of room. Like an inch is pretty small, but yeah, movement trays.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
get used to that,
well,
or bigger, thicker ones,
and magnetizing them as well.
Yep. All right, then I'm gonna put down my bolt throwers. There we go. Hopefully, I can kill your griffin before it kills my army. So then you deploy, and then I deploy my characters. So I've got a Dreadlord, who is my general, and my level 2 wizard. And they're both with my spearmen.
Okay, so I would say slip the mage in there.
Yeah, so he would go in now, and then you'd put your other guy down wherever you want.
But because it's already done, we just left it. So now I deploy this guy?
Yep. And flying creatures have a movement of 10, always. They can fly, unless there's something that stops them from flying.
Can they fly over things? Like they got flight?
Intervening. There we go. So that's basically it. We've deployed. We're moving into first turn now. We're skipping the fact that we would roll off now to see who gets first. I would have +1, but I'm going to go first just for the sake of movement purposes. It does give me a bit of an advantage, but we're not really playing to win here anyway. So the first thing you do, beginning of your turn, is declare charges. So the way charges work is your movement plus 2d6. So I can pre-measure anything I want in this game. We should be about 24 inches apart everywhere. I think we're a little bit off, but whatever. Not a big deal. No one I want to charge. I'm not going to charge. But I am going to have to test for stupidity because my Cold One Knights are stupid. They're thankfully leadership 10 because my general is nearby. And so they're fine. Because Dark Elf Dreadlords are leadership 10.
Doesn't stupidity, doesn't that make them kind of move a random direction?
If they fail the test, they have to move a d6 forward, and that's all they do. They don't do anything else that turn. So it's actually a really bad thing to happen if it happens later on. So after that, you do remaining moves. So everyone else.
Like know how like in War Machine, like say with Harvey, do Crusaders call and charge everything up first turn? Or
you can't do that here.
Okay, so just because
it goes movement, magic, shooting, combat.
But you said declare charge target. So if I say I wanted extra movement, I couldn't just charge?
You can declare a charge, but if you fail, you only go the highest of the 1d6. So for example, let's say I charge with these guys. Now, I cannot make this charge, so I can't even declare a charge to you.
So you roll 1. Oh,
but let's say you were 12 inches away, and I'm movement 5, so I'm looking at needing a 7 to make the charge, and I fail. I would only move 3 inches instead of my 5 inches.
Okay, so if you can't theoretically, or not even theoretically, if you can't actually make it, you can't declare the charge.
Right.
Okay. All right.
If you can make it, you can, but if you can't make one, you can't even declare a charge.
Okay.
Also, we totally forgot about your Vanguard. So you can actually move this unit 12 inches if you want. Basically, they can redeploy.
So 12 inches up?
Yeah, they can move 12 inches in any direction you want. The downside to Vanguard is if you had gone first, they can't charge, which is a downside, but at the same time, it also kind of opens you up that I can charge at you. And it always goes corner to corner. So let's say, for example, your unit is like this. Mm-hmm. I don't have to measure to the middle of your unit. I just measure the shortest distance.
Twist.
Yeah.
So,
or however you want to do it.
There.
I'm not going to charge them anyway. I'm just going to shoot them. So after declaring charges, I then do my remaining moves. So anyone else who just wants to move. So these guys are just going to move forward to there. And my little wound counters follow along. And these guys are going to stay still, and my cold ones are going to march. So they're going to advance 7, and then they're going to wheel. So it costs 1, 2, 3, 4, and then wheel again, 5, 6, 7.
So what's the...
Wheeling slows you right down.
But marching though?
Marching is double your movement.
Okay. And what do they lose? They can't charge?
Can't shoot. And well, you can't charge anyway because charging already happened. Other than that, the only penalty is you can't shoot if you can shoot normally.
Okay.
So that's it for my movement. So now we move into the magic phase. So at the beginning of each player's magic phase, you roll 2 dice. So I roll 2. That's how many power dice I get. So I'm going to get 7. You get 4. You get the highest of whichever dice is rolled. Mm-hmm. So you get 4 dice. And then for each wizard you have on your side of the board, you roll a d6. On a 6, you get another dice. So I have 1 wizard. I did not get it. You did not get it. And that's that. Using those 7 dice, you then get to cast your spells. So I have 2. And that's where this whole, the amount needed to roll is. So like, for example, this is a 14, that's a 16, that's a 5. You need to roll that on these dice.
So higher than that on those dice.
And you also add your wizard level. So you're level 4, so you get +4 to whatever you roll. Okay. I'm level 2, so I get +2 to whatever I roll.
That's not bad.
Same goes for dispelling. So for example, I'm going to try and cast Earth Blood on my unit. So I need an 8 or more to cast. Because I'm level 2, I need to roll a 6 on as many dice as I want up to 6. If I roll double 12 though, you roll on the miscast table.
Double 12, so it's
boxcars. If there's any 2 6s on whatever you roll, so say you roll a whole bunch of dice and you get 2 6s, you roll it. You can't stop me from casting it. It can't be dispelled. But I suffer. Okay. So I'm going to try and cast Earth Blood. I get it off. So I rolled an 11, 12, 13 because of my wizard level, and I only need an 8, so it goes off. You now have the option to try and dispel this spell. So what you would need to roll is as many dice as you want, and you have to roll more than what I rolled, including your wizard level. So you need to roll a 9.
But those dice now from your little pool
are gone. Yeah. Okay. Now, if you use your dice, they're also gone. So say I had more dice I wanted to cast other spells with, you don't have any more to... So you have to kind of decide what you're going to try and dispel. I would probably try and dispel this.
I have that scroll. Oh, the scroll only affects
the dispel scroll. No, that's you can use it to dispel one of mine. But usually you use that. Like I didn't get a spell that's really, really good for it. But let's say, for example, I rolled 5 and 5 for power dice. So I have 10. You only have 5. I use a few little dice, like a few little spells like these, to make you waste your dice. And then I decide, okay, with my last 5 dice, I'm going to cast Dwellers Below, which basically kills units. Then you could dispel scroll. You don't get to cast it. That's what dispels are usually used for.
So your wizard's level 2.
Right.
So
you're basically going to get +2 on whatever you roll against what I roll.
Well,
so you only need to
4.
roll a 9. Well, I'm level 2.
Okay. Oh, so
yeah. So it's, both of us get each of our wizard levels are added. So you need to roll a 9 on as many dice as you want to stop me from getting a 5-up regen on this unit.
Do 3.
Okay. And you got it. So on a 10, he dispels it. No regen for these guys. Regen is basically a ward save that is negated by fire. So if you get hit by a flaming weapon, you don't get the regen.
Okay.
So I'm going to try and cast Shield of Thorns on this unit.
So we got wood base.
And I roll an 8, and I'm level 2, so 9, 10, and it goes off. And you have 1 dice, you can't really stop me. Actually,
I can roll 10.
Yeah, if you roll a 6, you'll stop it. You do not. Also, if you ever roll natural 1 or 2 on whatever amount of dice you have, regardless of what your wizard level is, so say I rolled 2 dice and I rolled Snake Eyes, spell fails. Even if it only took like a 3 to cast, you'd fail.
Is it on this cast table though, or is it
no? It fails and you can't cast again. If you ever fail casting a spell, that wizard can't cast any more spells that turn. You gotta be careful about that. Say you want to cast like, oh, it's only a 4+. I failed. And then that wizard would be done for the rest of the turn until your following turn. But anyway, so that's that for magic phase. Shooting phase. So I'm going to have my crossbows shoot at your reavers. Now, Dark Elf crossbowmen have an ability to fire more than one shot.
How do you call the weapons range, by the way?
Unfortunately, the weapons are all listed in the rulebook, but this PDF also has it.
Yeah, footnotes. Okay, so these guys got 30-inch range.
Yeah. Long bows are 30, short bows are 15, I think. No, short bows are 20?
24.
24, there you go. My crossbows are 24. So when I choose a target, these guys are going to shoot at your reavers. They're going to fire 2 shots each, because they have that ability too. Now, because they're firing twice, they get -1 of their ballistic skill. Because you're past 12 inches, which is their half range, they get another -1 of their ballistic skill. So they're normally 4, so they go down to 2. So I'm hitting you on 5s. The green dice is actually hitting you on 4s, though, because he's my champion and he's a little bit better at shooting. So I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hits. And what's the toughness on your riders there? Strength 3 on my bows, so I need a 4 to wound you. It's a 40k chart.
Oh, yeah.
The only difference is there's never a point where you can't hurt someone. So say their toughness 10 and your strength 1, a 6 will still wound. So I did 5 wounds. So what armor do you have, if any? I don't know if they have any armor. It'll show their save right at the end there.
They got 5 up.
5 up. Okay, so the way it would work is you have probably light armor and you're on a horse, so it gives you 2 save. My arrows are actually armor piercing, so you get -1 to your armor save. So on 6s.
Okay.
Yeah. So 6 plus save. You made 2, so 3 guys die.
So doesn't matter where they go, or
so long as the last 3 surviving should be your musician, your standard, and your champion. And the way it goes is when you're down to 2, it's the champion and the standard, and when you're down to 1, it's just the champion.
I just got the champion.
And the standard, I think, should be left.
He doesn't have a standard with him.
They might not. They might just have a musician. I don't recall.
No, just the champion.
These guys are out of range, so we're going to shoot more shots at them.
Fantastic.
Now, unfortunately, a lot of my unit is blocking this unit. They suffer another -2 to hit, so they're actually hitting on 7s.
Is there any possibility of them hitting their own dudes, or
no? It just penalizes you even more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So these are the guys who are hitting you on 7s. So in order to hit you, I need to roll a 6, and then on those 6s, I need to roll a 4+. So I got 1 hit with the 6 guys that are blocked. 1, 2, 3, and the champion on the other side, and these guys are hitting you on 5s again. So they get 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get 5 hits altogether, and 4s to wound once again. So 2, 3, 6 plus saves. And they're dead. So that unit dies. Which, they're a relatively cheap unit. Normally people use raiders to kill off war machines, or to stand in front of units and make it so they can't charge somewhere else. And that's basically what you would have done.
So they're tar pits.
Not tar pits. They're redirectors is the way it's described, or the way they're used. So I'm going to shoot my bolt thrower at these archers. Actually, no, I'm going to shoot a spearman unit, so I'll show you how the bolt throwers work, because you have them as well. So the bolt thrower, our bolt throwers anyway, High Elves and Dark Elves, can choose to do 2 shots. They can either fire a single shot that hits a unit and is strength 6, and if it kills a guy, it hits the next guy in the next rank, and it's strength 5, and 4, and
like
3.
Like say in the movies, it just plows through.
Basically, that's what it does. Or you can shoot 6 shots that are only strength 4. In this case, I'm going to shoot 1 from this one into your spearman. So I need a 4 to hit you, and a miss, and that's it. The other one, I'm going to have spray into your archers there. So 6 shots hitting on 4s, because it's normally hitting on 3s, but you're past half range. They're range 48. So I need 4s to hit. So I get 4 hits, and they're strength 4. So I need 3s to wound, because elves are toughness 3. And I get 1 wound. Now, you might have armor. I don't think you do, though. just look under archers. I think it's just a dash.
Yeah, no, I got nothing.
Yeah, so one guy dies. Not only that, because it was strength 4, it would have been -1 to your armor save, and it's armor pierce, so it's -2 to your armor save.
So it wouldn't matter.
Yeah, so you weren't getting saved. But anyway, that's my turn. So now we move into your turn. So once again, first thing you do is declare charges.
There's nothing I can charge.
Well, there's a few things you could. Anything within your front 45, so this is the arc that you have. So example, these guys could charge them. They could. You need 12, but they could do it. He could charge them because he's flying. Now he'd need a 9, but because he's flying, he gets 3 dice. He's got Swift Stride. You take away the lowest.
If he charges, though, he can't cast spells. Or wait, he can't cast spells in general.
Yeah, and if you charge, you still can cast spells.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we could try him charging them.
Because you don't want them to charge you. But right now you're kind of okay because I'd have to kill the archers first. Because you should be about 19 inches away.
Yeah. 18.5, 19.
Yeah. If you're past the number, you go to the next one. There's no like fractions. So in this case, you need to roll a 9 on 3 dice, take away the highest.
Because he's got movement.
10, because he's flying. All flyers are 10.
Okay, just because it says there's Griffin 6.
It says it's 6, but because it has a fly special rule, it's always 10. So you need to roll a 9 on 3 dice, take away the lowest. Now at this point, at this point I'd have the option to do one of 3 things. I can either hold my ground and just take your charge. I can stand and shoot if I have a ranged weapon, like these guys do, or I can flee. I'm not going to do any of those, I'm just going to hold, but it does turn out that you failed your charge anyway. So in this case, you'd only move 4 inches forward. And you'll stop when you hit your own unit. So he'll just stand like that. And then he'll stay an inch away like they always do. And that's it for him. And that was the only charge, because normally you would declare all your charges and then resolve them.
Okay.
But that's that. So now remaining moves, so everyone else who either did not charge or whatever can now move normally. I believe your elf movement is 5 on pretty much everybody in your army.
I'm going to keep these guys standing still.
Okay. So you've got those guys, they can move 5 or march 10.
Yeah, these guys will march on.
Alright. So march up.
5.
And wheel for 2.
Yep.
There you go.
And
3 more. Or 2 more, whatever you want to do. Because it doesn't matter how close you get, because you want to watch out for me jumping on your guys. Like right now, I'm 13 inches away. So we're looking at a 7 for me to make that charge. Or sorry, an 8. Which is unlikely. I mean, we all know average on 2 dice is 7. But it's possible.
Yeah, those guys go there then.
Yeah. And the Swords Masters can march 10 as well.
2. 3.
Wheel 2, 3, 1.
2. And stay there.
Alright. So that's it. So we move into magic phase. So roll 2 dice. So you get 4, I get 2. And then we each roll a dice. If you roll a 6, you get another dice. Nope. Alright, so now you look at your spells here. And you've got high magic. So you've got a bunch of different spells here. Basically, these ones are just a few shots to kill guys. The Hand of Glory is an amazing spell. You can increase one of your stats by D3, or all of your stats by D3 if you choose to use the bigger version. The other thing I forgot to mention is you can only ever cast a spell once per turn. You can't cast like the same spell a bunch of times. Yeah. Or you can cast Fiery Convocation, try and blow up my unit here, or Tempest to... What does that even do? I think it's a number of hits.
It's a large round template. Anywhere.
Yeah, strength 4 hit. There you go. Probably want to put Hand of Glory onto your archers, because you can increase their ballistic skills. You know that penalty that my guys were suffering? You can basically negate it.
Okay.
So let's say...
So it would be these ones, correct?
Well, whoever you want.
To negate, because if they're shooting over there, or actually it doesn't really matter, because they're not in the way.
Yeah. So it's range 18, so you go from your wizard, anyone within 18. He's definitely within 18. And now you need to roll a 5 or more. Now remember, you'll get your +4 to your wizard level, but a natural 1 or a 2 will fail. So 2 dice. Goes off. You rolled a
11.
7 + 4. There you go. So I'm not going to try and dispel that because I don't think I even can. I need to roll like a 9. So you get it. So they have roll D3. So 1 dice. +3 to their ballistic skill. Cool. So we'll put a little green dice there just to keep track. And now you can cast another spell. Now those 2 dice are gone, so you only have 2 left now. You might just want to use a soul quench and do a couple of shots at either my knights or some of my guys. Alright, so the little one, you get 2d6 strength 4 hits if you shoot it against that.
Yeah, those are the ones I want to take out.
Okay.
So it's range 18. Yeah.
Definitely in.
So
you need to roll a 4 because you need an 8 or more. That's a fail. So it doesn't go off. And that's it for the magic phase. There are a few, I didn't go over the different types of magic. There's augments and hex. You can always cast an augment and a hex, even into combat or from combat. Magic missile and direct damage. You can't cast those into combats or while in combat. And then there are vortexes, which are basically, you put a vortex in front of your guy and you shoot it in a direction, and everyone who goes under it gets hit by it. And you can use those in close combat, which is
very good.
Really scary. When people like, well, they're usually very expensive, but say we're base to base like that and you put your vortex right here and just go like across my unit, kills guys. But anyway, that's a thing.
And do you roll a scatter die or choose where it goes?
You choose.
Oh.
But you roll an artillery dice for the direct, or how far it goes, for most of them. They're all different, but for the ones that you usually see, you roll an artillery dice and then multiply your wizard level. So anywhere from 2 to 10, but if you roll the miscast or misfire, it goes over your own head. 1 in 6. So, we're done moving, we've done magic, so shooting now.
So these guys I want to shoot there.
You might want to shoot my archers, because those guys have a 2-up armor save.
Oh, okay.
And you don't have armor-piercing arrows.
And I'm in range.
Okay, so range, you're -1 to hit because you're shooting past half. You didn't move, so that there's no other penalties. You're going to get 9 shots because there's 9 guys.
That's all I need. But I got +3.
Yep.
Oh. Yeah, +3 bliss.
So you're basically blizzard skill 6.
Yeah.
Because elves are 4, so you're hitting on 2s. Actually, you're hitting on 2s and then re-rolling to 6s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same way for you.
It's the same chart.
So.
And 1 missed, and on a 6. Nope.
Double. So.
I think actually I don't think you re-roll. I'm sorry. I remember that it's not quite the same. It's just it'll counter out your penalties. So it'll be 2s to hit is going to be the best you're going to get.
So.
Strength 3 on a bow.
Yeah.
And I'm toughness 3, so 4s to wound.
So it's 1, 2.
2 wounds. Yeah. I have a 6-up armor save. And they fail. 2 down.
So I guess these guys will want to shoot at your archers over there.
Okay.
So.
And they're in range. Now they don't have the benefit of Hand of Glory.
No.
So they're going to be hitting on 4s. Because their ballistic skill 4, that would make it 3s, and then -1 for shooting past half.
Okay, so
4s to hit.
So
couple hits.
Cool. So 7 hits.
And then 4s to wound, because I'm toughness 3. 2 wounds. 6+ save. Nope. 2 archers die. And that's that for them. And that's it for shooting. So that's the end of your turn. I'm going to my turn now. And first thing is declare charges. Actually, first thing I have to do is stupidity for these guys. And they're not stupid, which is a plus. Oh, I forgot about this. Your special ability for High Elves is every time you successfully cast a spell, the wizard and the unit he's with get +1 to their ward save.
Okay.
So because you successfully cast that one, they'll have a +1 ward save. So they go to a 6-up.
So this one here, does it last all game or?
It'll last until your next magic phase. There's a few spells, like Shield of Thorns, for example, that remain in play, and they'll keep going until someone gets rid of them.
Okay.
So either on your turn, you can use your dice to get rid of it, or on my turn, you can dispel it after the first turn. So, after that, I've declared charges. So, these guys are going to charge your Swords Masters. And these guys are going to try and charge your Spearmen. So you have the option here to either hold, flee, or stand and shoot. They don't have bows, so you can either hold or flee. If you flee, it's the same as if you fall back. You run 2d6. I can still try and catch you, and if I do, you're instantly wiped out. In this case, you're probably just going to hold.
Yeah.
Because you're even likely to win both of these fights. And so, these guys need an 8. They fail. So they turn to face directly at you. and then they move the distance on the highest dice, so they go 4 inches forward. That's why it's a big deal if you fail charges, because now I'm set up for you to charge me. And then these guys are going to charge. Now they're movement 7, so they need to get a 5. And roll 3 dice, take away the lowest. They make it. And so they would wheel to face you, then they would go forward, and then they would maximize front. But their spears are a bit annoying.
So we'll say they're base to base.
They're base to base like that is the intent.
So I always strike first, though. Does that?
So do I.
Okay.
So we actually hit simultaneously, and then it comes down to who has the higher initiative, whether or not you're going to get reroll. But we'll worry about that later because combat's last.
Okay.
So now the remaining moves. Everyone else who hasn't charged or such can move. These guys are just going to stay still. And these guys are going to move up just a little bit to put them all in range. And they'll even shimmy a little bit to the side. It takes double movement to move sideways and backwards. And you can't march sideways or backwards. And that's the way it works.
Okay.
So, magic phase. I get 9, and you get 5. Highest dice.
Oh, highest.
Yep.
That's lowest.
Nope, it's always highest. 9, and then roll a dice for each wizard you have. On a 6, you get another one. Neither of us do. Some armies actually build around channeling, which is what that's called, and it becomes useful. It's kind of hard for us because we only have the 1 wizard each, but when you have like 5 wizards, or you have a wizard who gets +1 to channels, I'm going to try and cast Earthblood on myself. It goes off on a 15 +2, so 17.
What's that one do?
This is the regeneration on the unit.
Okay. I don't want you to have that.
There you go. So you can use as many dice as you want. If you roll double 6, you'll automatically stop my spell.
So,
but you won't get hurt for it.
what do I need?
You need to roll.
What did you roll?
15.
15. So
and then you'll need to roll a 13. Yeah.
So yeah, 3 dice.
You got a tile one. And you got double 6, so you automatically dispel it. So no Earthblood for me. So I'm going to just cast Shield of Thorns again on myself. Just so because you could now choose to dispel this if you want, using your remaining dice, and you would just need to roll a 9 with your wizard level. I'm going to cast it again on myself, which goes off on a 12, so you need to roll 8. And you don't, so I keep Earth Shield of Thorns. And that's it for magic. So shooting phase. My bolt thrower is going to spray into your unit of spearmen there. And I do believe you're within 24 now. So I'm hitting you on 3s. 2 hits. And it's strength 4, so 3s to wound. 1 wound. So the armor save on a spearman, I think you have light armor and a shield. If you want to take a look there, it should be a 5 up, I believe.
5 up, yeah.
Yeah, so he's dead. That was a spearman.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Yep. And now my other bolt thrower is going to spray into your archers, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, 2 wounds, and 2 of them die because they don't have armor.
These archers?
Yeah. And now my archers are going to shoot at your archers, and I'm only going to do a single shot each. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, and the sergeant. So they moved, and they're shooting past half, so they're hitting you on 5s. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4 hits, and the sergeant has +1 ballistic skill, so he hits you on a 4. And then 4s to wound, he does 1 wound and kills another one. These guys are going to shoot at your spearmen, and they basically get the same amount of shots. 5 and 3 in the back. 4, and the colored dice from the sergeant. So these guys are once again hitting on 5s as well because they didn't move, but they're shooting past half and they're shooting twice. So we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, and 4s to wound, 3 wounds. Now they do have saves because they have a 5 up, but they're armor piercing, so it goes to a 6 up. So 2 die. Dead. And that's it for my shooting. So now close combat begins. And here's where it gets a little bit more complicated. So the way it works is initiative is the first way to use a close combat. Now, unfortunately, we both have always strikes first, so we hit at the same time. What's the initiative on your swordsman?
8. Or no, that's initiative 5.
Okay, so my guys are initiative 6, so you're not going to get to reroll against my guys. And on top of that, I will get to reroll against you.
So if my initiative's higher, I get to reroll.
Yeah, equal or higher. Unless we both have always strikes first, actually. We wouldn't get it. But my guys hate your guys.
Oh.
So we still reroll, because we have hatred. So I'm going to roll my dice first, just because it's the same time, so it doesn't really matter. But so my Cold One Riders, because they have initiative 6 and always strikes first, so they're hitting you on... What's your weapon skill, actually? That matters quite a bit. Probably 5.
6.
Weapon skill 6, eh?
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, then. So we're hitting you on 4s. But we are re-rolling, because we have hatred. So we get 5 hits, and toughness 3 on these guys as well. So we're strength 6 on the charge, so 2s to wound. So 4 wounds. Now, because it's strength 6, for each point over 3, it's -1 to your save. So if you had a... What's your save on these guys?
5 up.
So it's -1 for strength 4, -2 for strength 5, -3 for strength 6. You don't get a save, but you do have +1 to your ward save thanks to the spell you got off. So you have a 6 up against these 4 hits.
Okay, so I got 4 6 up.
Yep. And
Nothing.
fail off. And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure you have a great weapon. Swords Masters. Yeah. Actually, because you have a great weapon, it cancels out your always strikes first, because great weapons are always strike last.
Oh, okay.
And so you just hit at initiative, so I would have gone first regardless. But now you would attack.
Do I get 3 ranks though because of great weapon?
No, but because of martial prowess. Because you're high elves, you will get 3. So you're going to get 5 guys for the 2nd rank, 5 guys for the 3rd rank. And now, I do believe these guys have 2 attacks each base.
What do you tell? Oh, attacks. Yeah, 2. And the Blade Lord has 3.
The front rank, these 3 guys will each have 2 attacks each, and he'll have 3. So you've got 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 attacks total. Doesn't really matter, just don't eat dice.
Yeah. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I've got to double check my weapon.
5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19. Cool.
My guys are weapon skill 5, so you'll be hitting them on 3s. So 3 hits.
So I got, if they all have 2 attacks, I got 15 guys.
The guys in the back ranks only ever get 1 supporting attack. Yeah, so it's only the front rank that gets their full attacks.
I'll say, so that should be 20 attacks there. Or no, because there's the 3. So
right. It's 2, 4, 6, and 9 in the front, and then 10 more, so 19.
Okay.
So hitting on 3s, those 4 were not part of it. Yeah.
Blade Lord gets, he's on.
It's still going to be 3s. It doesn't get better. Even if he's higher, it's still 3s. And there you go. The rest of them are hits. And your strength 5, because great weapons are +2 to your strength.
Yeah.
My guys are only toughness 3, so 2s to wound. Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 wounds. 2, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have a 2-up save. Your strength 5, so it's -2 to that save. So I go to a 3+, 4+.
Okay.
I'm dead. Failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and this unit is wiped out.
Perfect.
Crunch. Now, because you won the combat, you can reform and face any direction you want. You don't you just kind of pivot on the spot, actually, like right in the middle, so you don't actually wheel. There you go. Sure. You could also, if you wanted, I wouldn't recommend it right now, but you could change and have more guys on the side, or be longer, or deeper, or whatever you want to do. But 5 is usually the standard. And that's that.
Actually, so I could just do this.
Yep, you could do that. Now, each rank you have matters in close combat for who wins in the end. They're +1. But because your guys have so many extra attacks, it's probably better to have more guys up front. That's the end of my turn. So we go into your turn now.
Okay, so I'd want to...
First thing is declaring charges.
So I want these guys charged there, but... Let's see.
Remember, it's closest to closest. So the closest point to the closest point. So you're looking at 9. So you need a 4. And these guys need a 4 as well.
So I'll charge them there.
I'm going to hold.
Alright, so on 2 dice, I need 4.
Yep. They make it. And the other spearmen are charging as well, or? Technically, you would have had to decide beforehand.
No, I wasn't going to.
Okay, perfect.
So
your swords masters all go in. So they would wheel and face me, and then they would move to make sure that they could get the most. Because you could actually get full.
Slide all over? Or?
Well, the way it would have worked here, the way it would have worked is you would have turned a face directly into my middle, and then move up like that, and then turn in like this.
Okay.
There.
Cool.
And that's how that works. So no other charges, I'm sure?
No, that's all.
So then now everyone else can do their remaining moves. So your eagle guy could march 20 if he wants, because he flies. You're going to want him within 12 inches of this.
Okay, so yeah, we'll march him then. And he can he pivot
he
wherever
can
he
go
wants?
over wherever he wants, because he's by himself. He can turn and spin as much as he wants.
Okay, so I'll move.
It's an advantage that individuals and monsters have.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like him there.
Okay. And spearmen, do they want to move anywhere?
Yeah, they do actually.
Now, because you have a musician, there's a special ability they can do. You don't really need to do it right now, but it's if you pass a leadership check, you can pivot on the spot and then move your normal movement. So you can't march, but you can move 5. So basically, if, for example, I really needed these archers to be over here, I could do a quick reform and then move 5. But whatever. So that's it. So magic phase. 2 dice. You get 6. I get 5. And do I get another one? Yes.
So
don't forget the channel.
Oh, this direct damage, I can't.
Can't cast that while we're in combat. You can get it. And your +1 to your ward save is gone now.
And that's gone.
Yeah. But you get to cast other spells, so you won't be able to cast Soul Quench because it's in combat.
Yeah,
actually, you can only cast Hand of Glory.
Hand of Glory.
Which is a bummer.
Why only Hand of Glory?
Because this one is a magic missile. You can't shoot it in combat. This one's a direct damage, which you can't use in combat. And this is also a direct damage.
Okay.
So you could use Hand of Glory to increase weapon skill or ballistic skill or movement. I didn't realize it was movement. I thought it was initiative.
So I guess
but still good. So basically, you're going to want to cast Hand of Glory, and another thing you're probably going to want to do is dispel my Shield of Thorns. Because if you don't, at the end of this magic phase, this unit's going to take a bunch of hits.
Okay, so I'd want to cast that and use the Dispel Scroll on Shield of Thorns?
You can't use the Dispel Scroll, but you could just use Power Dice. Because you can't use them for anything else, right?
Yeah.
So you might as well try and get Hand of Glory. But remember, I can try and dispel this, and I have 6 dice.
So we'll do Hand of Glory on them, on themselves. So +4, so it's 12.
Okay, so I need to roll a 10. And I'm going to try and use 4 dice, and I fail.
Wow.
I only get 8, so you do get Hand of Glory, so you're probably just going to increase weapon skill. So it doesn't really matter. You're already higher than me.
So my weapon skill's up 1.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be
and they get +1 to their ward save.
So now how do I...
So in order to dispel this, you just need to roll whatever the casting value is. So you'll need to roll a 5, because it's a 9+.
On 3, I'll do it.
Okay, and you do. So my Shield of Thorns goes away.
Cool.
And that's that.
So I can, on the magic phase, I can dispel stuff you already cast.
That is remains in play.
Okay.
If it's not remains in play, if it's just an augment, you can't do it.
Okay.
Though you do have a spell called Drain Magic that does do that. But anyway, so now shooting. So you've got your 2 archer units that can shoot.
Yes, these guys will shoot there.
Once again.
Yeah, they're right.
Okay, so you've got 6 guys. Actually, one of them is a character, so he's hitting on slightly better odds.
So he's
because he's ballistic skill 5, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so he's on 2.
It would be, but it's -1 for shooting past half, so he's 3 up.
The rest are 4.
4s. Yep. There you go.
So
he hits, and 1 guy hits, and then 4s to wound. 1 wound, 6+. He makes it. His light armor saves him.
I guess these guys will shoot there.
Yep.
They're in.
So you are going to be penalized a little bit here. Because
-1 for my guys, -1 over half.
-2 for your guys.
Okay, so
shooting 3 unit. So
I need to hit on 6s. I believe. No.
How many of these guys can your guys see? So
6
those 4 guys.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be hitting on 6s, and the rest will be hitting on 4s.
So there's.
So why not roll the 4 guys first, or either way? The 4 guys hitting on 6s. Nope. And the other guy's hitting on 4s.
6 guys.
Reroll that. So 2 hits, and then 4s to wound. 1 wound, 6+. Nope. That's a dead archer. Alright. And now close combat. So we're going to go here. Now there is one part of the close combat that we didn't go over before, and it's challenges. So if you have a character in your unit, you can choose to challenge, just like in 40k.
Yeah.
If you refuse, your character doesn't get his attacks and he goes to the back, and anything that he has that makes your unit better doesn't apply. And when you challenge, I choose who accepts, you choose who challenges. Now because it's your turn, you get to choose whether you're going to challenge or not. If you don't want to, I can, but the people in your unit who can accept the challenge right now are the unit champion and your wizard.
Okay.
The people in my unit who can accept it is my unit champion, my wizard, and my dreadlord.
Yeah, I guess I'm not going to challenge because
the dreadlord will probably kill whoever he challenges, but at the same time, you don't want my dreadlord to attack your unit. So
so challenge him with the blade lord.
There is overkill as well, but that's probably your best bet. So I'm going to accept it with my dreadlord just for the sake of this, and so he would actually move and get in to be able to hit you. So he'll go right there. Go. So we'll do the challenge first. Now my dreadlord's carrying a weapon called the Hydra Blade. So he gets plus D6 attacks. So he gets 2 more. So he has 6 attacks now instead of 4. But I have to do a leadership check at -5. If I fail, or sorry, at -2. If I fail, I get weapon skill -5 and heroic killing blow. If I pass, nothing happens. I pass. Now because you have a great weapon, and it cancels out your always strike first, my dreadlord gets to go first. He's weapon skill 7, which you are also 7 now because of your spell.
Oh,
So I'm hitting you on 4, but I'm re-rolling because I have hatred, and always strikes first. So I hit you with all my attacks. He's only strength 4, so he's wounding you on 3s. And because I'm a dark elf, I have murderous intent, and I re-roll 1s. And I didn't get any. So 3 wounds. Because they're strength 4, it's -1 to your save. So you have a 6+ normal save, and then a 6+ ward save.
So I can do both though.
Yeah. So you get the first one, your armor save, and you failed them all, and then your ward save, and he failed 1. But he only has 1 wound, so that kills your champion. So he dies. A guy will come up and take his place, but that's that for him. So one of the back guys comes up. Alright. So your wizard actually has always strikes first as well.
But now your blade lord is out of.
He won't attack your unit. Okay. Right. That was why I didn't, like, because if I had rolled a 6 for extra attacks, he would have just kind of wrecked that unit, or at least done a lot of wounds, as opposed to just regular spearmen. So your wizard is always strikes first, and he has 1 attack. So you can do 1 attack against my unit. Or if you want, because you're actually, my wizard is in corner to yours, you could attack my wizard directly. If you so chose. Usually it's a good idea to kill characters in the front ranks, which is also the downside of your characters being in the front rank, because, for example, my spearman can stab your wizard. There's nothing you can do about this, it's just, that's the way it kind of works out. That's why often you see people put their guys in the very corner, so few units can attack them. I didn't do it, but anyway.
So, if I want to attack your wizard...
You can just do it with your wizard.
What's her toughness?
Weapons. Toughness 3.
Weapon skill?
3 or 4? 4, I think. Yeah, she's an elf. 4.
Yeah, 4 and 3 as well.
So you're forced to hit, no reroll, and then 4 to wound. So you hit, and you didn't wound. Okay, so my guys go next, because all your guys are not always strikes first, because they have always strikes last.
My wizard doesn't get to attack now, though.
That was his attack.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in the front. One of them is a champion. And then I've got 6 guys in my second rank. 3 more. And because I have spears, I have 1 more rank of attacks. So another 6 more get to attack. And we're hitting you on 4s, because we're weapon skill 4. And we're re-rolling to hit because I'm going to re-roll after it was cocked. We're re-rolling to hit because we have always strikes first and you do not. And because we have hatred. And there we go. So tons of hits, and we're strength 3, and your toughness 3, so we need 4 to wound. And I get a phenomenal number of wounds. And so it's 5, 10, 11, 12. There's no bonuses on this, so you get your 5 up and your 6 up against 12 wounds.
So I fail 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 guys die.
Well, you get your 6 up now as well.
That's 4 passed.
Yep, and then 6 plus.
Do I get 12 6-ups or just the remainder? Oh, because they...
Whatever your ward save is. So you make another 1. So 7 guys die. Bam. So just leave them off to the side because they are going to matter for who wins combat.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of like combat resolution in fantasy.
Yeah, these guys over here just died. The other guys died a while ago.
Yep. And so now you get to attack back with your swords masters.
So it's 8 in the front range.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 attacks. Because your champion died, so you don't get the 3 on him.
13. 4, 8. So I'm hitting them 3 up?
Yep, 3's to hit. And you don't get the reroll. But so then it's 2's to wound, because you're strength 5, because you have a great weapon. Unfortunately, you don't reroll 1s, because you're not a dark elf.
But that's 7 wounds.
And because it's strength 5, it's -2 to my armor, so no save. 4, 6, 7. Alright, so now we have to tally combat, because everyone's done all their attacks. So I did 8 wounds to you, because I killed your champion. So all these are gone, and I'm up by 1. And we both have a banner, so there's no benefit there. I have 2 ranks, so I go up by another 2, because they are a full rank of 5, whereas you don't have any. But you charged, so I go down by another 1. So in the end, I win combat by 2. So you are now leadership 9 minus 2.
8 minus 2.
You'll use your general's leadership.
Oh, yeah, 9. So 7.
7. There you go. So you need to roll 7 or less on 2 dice.
See if I break.
You do, but because your BSB is nearby, you get to re-roll it, which you still break.
Wow.
So now I pursue. I can actually choose to pursue or not. I have to pursue you because I hate you. So we each roll 2d6, and hopefully you roll more than me. Nope. So that unit is wiped out. And my guys overrun 9, and they're not going to hit this unit, which can happen. You can have like a rolling combat. And so they move forward 9. It's right there. Yep.
See, the only roll there.
It might have been a good idea to bring the spearmen in as well. Not because they're going to get a lot of kills, but because they have a lot of rounds. And they'll help you out in combat resolution. But that is the end of your turn. So now it's my turn.
Yep.
So unfortunately, my Dreadlord and them can't charge your guys because they're not in the front arc. So we're going to charge these archers. What are you looking at?
So if the noble was to attack, does he get an attack in his mount as well?
Yeah.
So 7.
Yeah, but they're different stats too. Like the Griffin's a lot stronger than he is. So when the combat comes up, you'll get both.
Yeah. Okay. I was just wondering.
But this unit is going to charge your archers.
Mm-hmm.
So because I am in your front arc, you can stand and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And so those guys can shoot as I come in.
And I'm within.
You're within half, but you do get -1 for standing and shooting.
Okay.
It's just a stand and shoot -1.
Those 6 can shoot.
So you actually get all of 10.
Oh, okay. And was it 4 up?
So, yep, 4 to hit. So, 5 hits, average. David's here now, too, for those of you who have tuned into many shows. 4 to wound. 2 wounds. So they have a shield and a spear and light armor, so they have 5+, which they promptly fail.
Sweet.
And die.
You bring your stuff.
And now I get to try and charge. And I made it. And so these guys will hit you in the flank. Because the majority of my front was in your side, and so they flank you. And there we go. I don't have any other charges, so magic phase. I get 11. You still get 6, even though your wizard's dead. But you'll no longer get the +4 for being a level 4, and you'll no longer get to try and channel, because you don't have a wizard. And I do not channel. So, I'm going to try and cast Earthblood on myself. And I miscast. So you can't do anything to stop this, but I do get my spell off. And I really wanted to show you a miscast before the game ended. And so, first off, when you get a miscast, so double 6, you resolve all of the effects of your spell. So you do everything involved with casting a spell. In this case, I just get that. And then you roll 2d6 and look at the rulebook, which I totally wish I had brought over here.
This is the quietest Kris has ever been. Mm-hmm. Especially because I just called him Craig.
Okay.
He's got focus. So you go to the miscast chart. Basically everything on this is awful. So I rolled a 9. So on an 8 to a 9, I roll every wizard and every model on the same side that can generate power dice or dispel dice suffers a strength 6 hit.
So your one guy.
So my one guy takes a strength 6. So 2's to wound. Wounded has no save, but because I have regen now, I have a 5-up save, which I make.
Of course.
But I do also lose d6 power dice from the dice I have left, which is all of it. So I have no more spells. The other ones in these are, one is you reduce your wizard level by d3 down to a minimum of 0, and you lose every spell each time. On a 2 or a 4, a large blast is placed over top of your wizard, and everyone under it takes a strength 10. And on a 1, 2, or 3, your wizard is destroyed. No saves of any kind allowed. So, they're pretty bad sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say. Some of them get a little greasy.
Alright, I'm going to shoot your bird now with my bolt thrower. 3 to hit. He hits. So the way this works is because you have a rider and a mount, which have a different stat line, I have to roll off to see who I hit. On a 5 or a 6, I hit your rider. Everything else is the mount. I hit the rider. So, what's your toughness?
Toughness 3?
Probably 3.
Yeah.
So 2 to wound, and it wounds him. And
2-up save.
it's strength 6, so -3 to that. So 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus. And you make it. I'm pretty sure you get armor saves. There might be no armor saves allowed, so double check that when you use your bolt throwers. I'm pretty sure it's no armor saves, but for right now we won't do that. And then this bolt thrower is going to shoot him and hit and see who he hits. Your rider, and you wound your rider and you fail your save. Now bolt throwers do D3 wounds, so for each hit I do actually 3 wounds, which I think kills your guy. All right, so now your griffin freaks out. So we get to go to the monster reaction table. Whee! Because when the rider dies, things happen. Page 106. Bring your big red rulebook as well when you want to play fantasy, because this comes up all the time. I don't remember the last time I played a game where a rider died before a mount, because often I'll just try and fight them in close combat and then kill them all and then run them down, as everyone does. So roll a d6. 2. Free of the will. That's literally what it says. I'm not making noises. The other ones are Gur and Rard. For those of you who were wondering. But anyway, so free of the will controlling it, the monster now has to think for itself and might find its presence on the battlefield extremely confusing. The monster fights is normal, but is subject to stupidity for the rest of the game. There you go. So you got to do a stupid check at the beginning of your turn.
It could be worse.
The other one is he just stands over his master and doesn't go anywhere. And the last one is he goes berserk and attacks with frenzy everywhere he goes.
No, that one would have been okay.
Yeah, that one's okay too. So my archers are going to shoot at it now. There we go. So we've got 5 and 3 and 5.
What's a large target mean?
And 3. Basically,
for you to hit.
It's not that it makes it easier to hit, but it makes it so that the aura of your general will be larger, and it doesn't. You can't be blocked by smaller guys. So, for example, say you were standing behind this unit, I could shoot you without being penalized for that unit.
What's a swooping strike, thunder stomp, and swift strike?
Thunder stomp is at the end of combat. You'll roll a d6, and you'll get that many more hits at your strength against a unit.
That's pretty cool.
It's really good. Archers are trying to shoot your bird, and we get a bunch of hits because we've come to kill this thing. Toughness 5. So we need 6s to wound because our bows are only strength 3. And we got 1, and I don't believe it has armor.
No.
So he takes a wound. How many wounds does it have?
I don't know.
So wounds next to initiative after toughness.
5,
So 4 wounds. So he's down to 3. Plonk. And these crossbows are going to shoot at your spearmen, who are barreling down on them. So we've got 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 2 more. And that's a hit. These are hits. And 4s to wound. We get 2 wounds, so 2 6+ saves. Because they're armor piercing. So 2 Fs. And that's it for shooting, so close combat. So we have that combat to do. You have always strikes first. I have always strikes first.
I got a... Oh, I do have a hand weapon.
Yeah, so they'll have 1 attack. And unfortunately, because I'm in your flank, only those 2 guys will be able to attack me.
So...
You can do your 2 attacks. Now you can actually choose. You could aim for either my unit, my Dreadlord, or my Wizard with those 2 attacks.
I'll aim for the Wizard.
There you go. 4s to hit. 1 hit. 4 to wound. Wounds. 5+ warp or regen. Fails it, so she's down to 1 wound left. My Dreadlord gets d6 attack. He gets 6 more, but fails his leadership, so he's only weapon skill 2. 6 and his 4. So your weapon skill what? 4?
Yep, 4.
So I'm still hitting you on 4s. And I still have hatred. And your toughness 3. So 3s to wound. Rerolling 1s because I'm a dark elf.
Okay, save against these 2.
And you don't have a save.
I have a save, yeah.
So 6 of them die.
So do I move them from...
From the back still.
Okay, so...
Well, no, it won't be from that back. It'll be the back rank. Yeah. It's always the back ranks, regardless of where the fight actually comes from. And then I've got some spearmen who can attack here.
That's rough.
And so it's 3, and then the other 2. Or actually, it's only 2, because they charge. They don't get the spears on the charge.
Dreadlord's really good.
Dreadlords are really good. They're not as good as they used to be. He used to be a lot better. To the point where, like, up against Swordsmaster units, he'd go in by himself, and they wouldn't even touch him. Spearman attack. 4 hits.
One one's really good. A Chaos Lord on a bike with Black Mace. I had that.
And 3 more get stabbed by my spearman. There we go. So I did 9 wounds. You did 1, so I'm up by 8. I charged you, so I'm up by 9. I charged you in the flank, so 10. I have 2 ranks, so 11, 12, and a banner for 13. So you need to roll snake eyes to not break. And you do. Your BSB is dead, so we pursue. 6 inches, and you get to run 2d6.
Oh, I thought it was spiked out.
Nope, you get to run 8 inches, so you actually get away.
So that way?
Yeah, might as well just take him off his tray. He runs 8. And my guy's advanced 6.
Oh.
Yep. And now it's your turn. I think we'll do one more combat and we'll just call it there.
So I think
it's pretty much game
these
over.
guys will charge there.
Yep. And
he's going to charge there.
So first you have to do a stupidity check for him to see if he loses his mind. Which I think that might actually be a pass. Because their leadership 7.
Yeah, so he's good.
Okay, so these are both going to stand and shoot. So I'm going to try and kill you as you come in. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So -1 for shooting past half, -1 for shooting twice, and -1 for charging. So 6s and 5s. 1, 2, 3. 6s at 5s on 3. And then 6s to wound. 1 wound. So down to 2 wounds left.
Wait, it's not safe. Wait. No, it doesn't.
Nope. And then you get to try and charge, which you're basically going to make. Because it's 3 dice, take away the lowest. Because he flies. Yep, made it. Because it's 10 plus 7. So you just maximize, so he'll go right in the middle there against the 3 of them. So 4 of my guys will be engaging him. And now the same thing against this unit. -2. So they get 1, 2, 3 hits. And 3 wounds. So 6 plus. 3 die.
Now they need to go the movement of 5 plus.
So they're going to look at a 6 to make this charge. 7, sorry. 7. That's a fail. So they go 3 inches. There we go.
So now
shooting. Oh, and that guy got to try and rally. I almost forgot. On Snake Eyes, this guy will come back.
Okay.
No, so he'd continue to run, and we'll just take him off because he'll be dead. If you're less than 25%, you roll rally on Snake Eyes. 40k.
Okay.
And
so shooting.
Shooting. So they could shoot at these guys or my bolt throwers if you're in range.
30 inches.
Could go for the bolt thrower.
Yeah. So -1 for over half.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. So there's 6 survivors. One of them is a champion now.
So yeah, so he hits on
3s, and the others hit on 4s. Now the bolt thrower is toughness 7 against range shots, but it has only light armor. So if you get a 6s to wound, you can just kill it. So you get 3 hits. And 6s to wound. Nope. Alright.
So now the assault.
Combat.
Because there's no magic.
That's right, because you don't have any wizards left.
So he gets 4 attacks, I think.
But we have always strikes first, so my guys will still get to go first. What's your weapon skill on him? Oh, he probably causes fear, right?
He's got causes terror.
Causes terror. There you go. So we have to do a leadership check, which I fail. So my guys are only weapon skill 1 for this combat.
Okay, so he's weapon skill 5.
So we're going to need 5s to hit him.
He's got 4 attacks.
We still get to re-roll. What's your initiative? Probably 5. 4?
4.
Okay, so we still get to re-roll hitting on 5. So we get a bunch of hits. And then 6s to wound. Re-rolling 1s. So we get 1 wound, so he's got 1 left.
Oof.
But he's alive, which is what matters. 5 attacks?
4.
4 attacks. Okay, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s.
He's weapon skill 5 too.
I'm weapon skill 1.
Oh,
but it's always 3. It's never better than 3 unless you have like a plus to hit. So 1 hit and 2s to wound. So kills 1. Now because you're a Thunderstomp, you get D6 more. They automatically hit, so it's 2s to wound. So 3 more wounds.
That's really good.
It is really good. So I did 1 wound, but you charged, and you did 4 wounds. So I lose by 4. Leadership 4, they fail. So they run 2d6, and you get to roll 3 dice, take away the lowest to chase them. 8, 6, they escape.
So I move 6 towards them.
Yeah, so they would move straight backwards. More or less to there. Had they been more facing like this, you would overrun right into another combat. And you'd immediately, like next turn, you'd already be in combat. As though you charged.
Do you want that?
It doesn't make any difference. I think we're going to call it here because that's the basics of moving and fighting and magic. Other than that, the things get more trickier when you do stuff. For example, here are my Cold One Knights, and say that's your big unit, your Death Star unit, where you've got all your powerful characters, and my big unit's right here, and I want to be able to charge you, so I do something like this. I move my knights up so they stand like this. So if you want to charge, you have to charge them. So you charge like that. You win, because this unit's just chaff. You overrun, and then I charge you.
Oh, okay.
And then my unit kills your Death Star because I flanked you.
Now I see what you get about the diversion.
Yeah, so a lot of units, like the Elysian Reavers, are used for that. Or they're used for killing war machines, just rolling those 6s, because why not? They can run around and do it. But, yeah, good game. Such as it was. It was a teaching game.
Yeah.
And
I like that.
Hopefully your high elves work out for you, because they did just give them all these high elves. And stay tuned. We're going to have more Warhammer Fantasy games. I have no outro yet. Fuck off.